Protest rocks Bayelsa over constant threats. Kano governor moans slay Aide, others manhunt for killers. NCAA imposed 6-month flying ban on Kwam 1 for breaching airport security protocols. And on the foreign scene, aircraft crashes in Kenya's capital, killing 6 people. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining. Now we'll begin with the protest in Bayelsa. Women of Agudama community in Yaragwa, the Bayelsa state capital, have sent a Save Our Soul SOS message to the state government, appealing for urgent intervention over what they described as constant threats, intimidation and unprovoked attacks from members of a neighboring community. Dressed in black to express their grief and frustration, the women staged a protest that disrupted vehicular movement around the Agudama axis. Trust TV's correspondent Friday Ebumwebuwe Peter has the details.
Some of the protesters who spoke to Trust TV alleged that youth from the neighboring community have been harassing them on their farmlands and destroying their crops. According to the protesters, although the matter is already before a competent court of law, the alleged aggressors have continued to trespass into their farmlands and in some cases reportedly attack and even kill members of Agudama community.
This very moment now, I can't for people enter our bush again. They clear all of the women crops. Then they even threaten the women. Say they go rape the women for bush. All across, and they use caterpillar, they bulldoze everything. They use gun and knife. They pursue our women for bush. No way for us to even go inside bush, collect our food, understand what's in there. But we know that this matter they come. But yet I came for people see they enter the bush. So the thing don't too much. That's why we come out today. So make the government come and help us.
Akepa has been killing Agudama, doing all sorts of things with the women in the bush. When we go there, they will hold us, they will beat us, they will rape us. Even our husband they kill. So now this matter is beyond. We cannot fight it alone. So we need government to intervene in this matter so that there will be peace. That is all we are out here for.
The women lamented that the continued invasion of their ancestral land has left many of them living in fear, unable to access their farms and other means of livelihood.
With the greater the thing they go. Small time, my sister don't come. Send 3 boys of a camp for boys. Big bomb. She got the fear. I said, no, what I came for people. Let's go. As we march out, now we see them. 3 of them. Now tell them, say, what are the fans for this food? Say, Mama, we don't come from that side, though. Now, man, now we come. It got one road for Aglobi. When you enter Aglobi, the last road, one road bottom for street. For the road. Now they carry kaka. They are not allowed kaka to enter the gate. My wood, when I take wood, I go pay my wood before I go come out.
They are appealing to Governor Doiduri and security agencies in the state to swiftly intervene, protect lives and property, and restore peace between the two communities. Some of the protesters carried placards with messages calling for justice and end to the attacks. From Agudama community, Friday Ebumwebuwe Peter, Trust TV News.
And now, on a sad note, the senior special reporter SSR attached to the Kano State Ministry of History and Culture, Sadiq Jantal, has reportedly died following an attack by some yet-to-be-identified hoodlums. Jantal died following the injuries he sustained from a recent violent attack using machetes at his residence. The aide was eventually taken to Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital in Kano, where he died on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Kano State Governor, Abba Kabir Yusuf, has directed security agencies to swing into action and fish out the perpetrators immediately. In a condolence message issued by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Bature Dawakin Tofa, the governor described the late aide as a dedicated and patriotic social media professional whose violent death has cast a dark cloud. Governor Yusuf condemned the killing in the strongest term, describing it as heinous, barbaric, and utterly unacceptable. The governor also extended heartfelt condolence to Gentle's family, friends, and professional colleagues, assuring them that the Kano state government stands in solidarity with them during this difficult time. And now the Niger State Governor, Muhammad Umar Bago, has vowed not to negotiate with bandits, stressing that it is unacceptable, saying he will instead seek the intervention of the President and the National Security Advisor on the issue of frequent bandit attacks plaguing some local councils in the state. Bago had also observed that negotiations with bandits in some states have led to an increase in cattle rustling. The governor made his position known at a stakeholders' consultative meeting on the implementation of state trade animals movements, security and veterinary inspection permit held in Mina on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. Speaking on the issue of people's bringing in slaughtered meat from the bush to sell, he stated that necessary measures will be put in place through relevant authorities to ensure that only meat slaughtered in recognized abattoir is sold in the markets, adding that livestock entering the state must be vaccinated. He added he had directed that no farmer should farm on the right of way, which is side by side with the highway, and warned herders not to allow their animals to graze on people's farms, pointing out that anyone found wanting will be dealt with accordingly. The Nigeria Forest Security Service, NFSS, has called on the federal government to formally recognize forest security as a critical component of the nation's broader security architecture. The Deputy Commander General of Intelligence at the NFSS, John Miche, made the call in Jos, the Plateau State capital, during the training of newly recruited personnel of the service. Speaking at the training, Miche emphasized that the NFSS was established to fulfill a major security gap, particularly in forested areas. According to him, the agency is tasked with gathering intelligence within forest, monitoring movements, and working on synergy with other security outfits to tackle crimes such as banditry, armed trafficking, illegal mining, and cross-border criminal activities.
We have all different agencies, different security in Nigeria. But I keep saying in my previous interview that we are the missing link. The missing link in terms of the forest. The bandits have identified that the forest is ungoverned area, and nobody's monitoring the forest. Nobody's securing the forest. That's where we come in, because we're indigenous. We know the terrain better than the police, better than the immigration, better than the civil defense. So while we are in the forest gathering information, we can share it with the police, we can share with the military on where the bandits and the criminals are. So we are the missing link in the architectural security of Nigeria.
Some of our officers have even paid the price to see that security have been restored in some of the communities within the state. So I think we are ready. We are fully on ground at all costs. We only want the government to identify with us.
And to this end, this lecture now is aimed at strengthening you, enlightening you, particularly the trainees and participants, on how to go about gathering intelligence or information of security value that will aid in fighting this menace.
Now, the Inspector General of Police, Aide Betokun, has commissioned newly constructed police barracks and over 300 modern housing units at Bompai and Zaria Road in Kano State. The project, which includes administrative offices, shops, worship centers, and other key facilities, is part of ongoing efforts to improve welfare and boost morale within the force. At the event, the IGP emphasized that no officer should protect the nation by day and return to indignity at night, describing the project as a symbol of dignity-driven reform. He also thanked President Bola Tinubu for his support, assuring that similar transformation projects are underway nationwide.
In the complex equation of national security, we often speak of firepower, intelligence, and strategy. But the true foundation of any security architecture is far more human. The morale, welfare, and living conditions of those who serve. For too long, that foundation has been uneven. Today, here in Kano, we lay a new kind of cornerstone. What stands before us are not just housing units or administrative blocks. They are feasible outcomes of a leadership philosophy that prioritizes the person behind the badge.
Now in Kano, the Kano Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Tuesday arraigned 5 officials of Katsina State Board of Internal Revenue Service and 1 bank staff before Justice Musa Danladi Abubakar of the Katsina State High Court sitting in Katsina. The suspects were arraigned on 7-count charge bordering on conspiracy and diversion of public funds, totaling 1,235,330,000 naira. These are funds accrued to the state from the World Health Organization, Medicine Sans Frontiers, and Alliance for International Medical Action, ALIMA. The defendants are Nura Lawal, Sanusi Muhammad Yaro, Ibrahim Mamman, Abubakar Saidu, Rabiu Adamu Abdullahi, and Adamu Al-Hassan Al-Bashir, identified as the public sector relationship manager with First Bank. They were alleged to have used their position as officials of Katsina Revenue Service to unlawfully converted taxpayers' money to their personal use. The offense is contrary to Section 58 of the Penal Code Law of Katsina State and punishable under Section 298 of the same law. All 6 defendants pleaded not guilty to each of the charges preferred against them. The Students' Union Government SUG of the University of Abuja has condemned the demolition of student-occupied properties at the institution's mini campus, describing the incident as distressing and unacceptable. In a statement issued on Thursday by the SUG Director of Information, Chineye Precious, the union said the exercise was carried out without prior notice to the students' body or its leadership. The union also alleged that some students were assaulted during the process, while others lost personal belongings. Reacting swiftly, the SUG President Yusuf Jamiu visited the scene, mobilized students, and intervened to halt the demolition. He later held an emergency meeting with the Vice-Chancellor to express the outrage of the students' body. According to the statement, the Vice-Chancellor acknowledged the gravity of the situation, expressed regret, and assured the union of prompt and appropriate action. Now, the West African Examination Council WAEC has announced that it has discovered technical bugs in the just-released 2025 examinations result. A statement issued by WAEC Public Affairs Department on Thursday said following public outcry, it reviewed the mathematics, English language, biology, and economics result released on its site. The council, while apologizing, said it urgently corrected the technical glitches that led to the situation. It has now advised candidates who had previously checked their result to recheck after 24 hours. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has said popular Fuji musician Wasiu Aide, also known as K1D Ultimate, will be blacklisted from flying within Nigeria for 6 months over alleged misconduct at the domestic terminal of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the NCAA, Michael Achimogu, disclosed this on Thursday during a press briefing. Achimogu added that the aviation rules are global and made for all made for the safety of all, stressing that no individual will be exempt from accountability. He further revealed that the agency was writing to the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police to initiate legal proceedings against the musician. When asked whether Aide will be spared prosecution due to his close ties with President Bola Tinubu, Achimogo said both Tinubu and the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, were committed to upholding the rules of law. Meanwhile, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has directed that K1 be placed on no-fly list pending the outcome of an investigation into the incident. The minister said any local or international airline that fly the singer risks its license be withdrawn. The sanctions slammed on Aide followed a directive from Keyamo that the singer, who behaved unruly, wasn't above the law. Adherents of the Osun sacred goddess are in high spirits in Osogbo, the Osun state capital, as preparations peak for this year's Osun Osogbo festival. The annual event attracts traditional worshippers and tourists from around the world, contributing significantly to the local economy. Hamid Oyegbade reports.
The Osun Osogbo Festival is a week-long cultural celebration held every August. This year's edition officially began with the Iwokoko rites at Bayelsa Junction and will climax on Friday at the sacred Osun Grove. Traditionalists from across Nigeria and beyond have converged on Osogbo, describing the festival as a moment to renew their spiritual connection with the Osun goddess.
The significance of Osun Osogbo Festival is to acknowledge our ancestor, also to seek for more blessing. It is part of the pledge that our ancestors make when this town was found. The festival of Osun Osogbo has to do with the foundation of city of Osogbo. So we come to acknowledge and we come to seek for more blessing for the town to be more expand in progress and to acknowledge what the Orisha had been doing in the past for us.
I always make sure I am available during the festival to play my own role where my father, to take it up where my father stopped. And being partaking in the festival, I am so happy, and I pray that this year's festival will be one of the best as usual, because every year things change for the festival. Last year there were some certain things that was not initiated, but this year and new things were being initiated, and I know next year another new things will be initiated again. So the festival means a lot to me.
Osun is what's celebrated because I told you earlier, she is a good mother. She is everything we needed. She gives good health. Though we believe Olodumare, because we pray to Osun through Olodumare. You understand? Osun is a deity, but we believe in her through Olodumare. So she's worth celebrating. Yes.
Osun helps us to have children and blessing and happiness and peace. So we come to Osun, we ask her for the things we want, and she'll give it to us. What better reason to come to Osogbo? Osun helped found Osogbo. You know, she comes to Osogbo and Oshetura. So Osun comes to Osogbo, Orumla comes to Osogbo, and all the Orumla come to Osogbo. So what better example do we have than to come to Osogbo? and ask for the things that we desire.
The festival, which celebrates the Yoruba goddess of fertility, is seen by worshippers as an opportunity to receive divine blessings and reflect on cultural heritage. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Now in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says it plans to pursue civil, administrative or criminal sanctions against parties found to have breached foreign exchange rules following the conclusion of a forensic audit into undelivered forward contracts. A document titled Frequent Asked Questions FAQ on the settlement of undelivered forward contracts published on the bank's website on Thursday revealed the development. The audit conducted by Deloitte from September 2023 reviewed transactions under the Retail Secondary Market Intervention Cells RSMIS window. According to the Apex Bank, the contracts involved upfront Naira payments in exchange for promised US dollar delivery on future dates, many of which went unfulfilled. The CBN said the audit was necessary to verify the legitimacy of these contracts, protect FX reserves, and uphold regulatory standards. The findings revealed extensive irregularities, including mismatches in beneficiary identities, exaggerated FX requests, use of incorrect or blank form submissions, and approval for non-permissible imports. Now, away from Nigeria, a small plane carrying medical staff on Thursday crashed in a densely populated neighborhood in Kenya's capital, killing 6 people, local authorities said. The Cessna plane run by AMREF flying doctors came down as it was flying to Hargeisa, the capital of Somalia's breakaway territory of Somaliland, the charity said in a statement. Kiambu County Commissioner Henry Wafula said the 4 people on board, 2 people on the ground were killed. The Kenya Civil Aviation Authority said the plane took off from Wilson Airport and lost contact with air traffic control 3 minutes later. Unverified videos shared on social media showed firefighters trying to douse burning debris inside what appeared to be a residential compound.
6 dead. Yes, 2 doctors, 2 nurses. Of course, with the pilot, you can see the wreckages. The aircraft was being piloted, right? Yeah. So that's what has happened. And then 2 on the ground. You can see on the house. It landed fatally on the house. You can see serious injuries. We have already evacuated the seriously injured to hospital to be attended to.
How many were injured?
The ones who are injured. The ones seriously injured, 2. Unless we confirm otherwise.
Adults, kids?
Yes, we have an adult, an old lady. We have an old lady and a lady, a house help or a relative. We have not yet established, but those 2.
And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to watch and catch us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thanks for watching.